Greetings, galactic way shores of light, navigators of the new dawn. We are traveling through uncharted territories. Another day of massive waves coming in. Many of us are feeling this through the solar plexus, through the lower chakras, up through the heart chakra, many crown activations. We may feel this coming through in waves. Some might feel like a turning, a twisting, a spiraling within the solar plexus, the solar center of the sacred vessel, the center of the rainbow bridge, the yellow into the green, green into the yellow. Prior to starting this transmission, I was traveling in between worlds, into the void, into no man's land, and to other realms, as these energies were carrying me deeper and deeper within, into the stillness, to the silence. And as I came back into this realm, my guides, my team, my higher self, came through to keep riding the waves through and through and through, and very strongly came through yesterday and today to stay the course. Stay the course. We are beyond the event horizon. There's no going back anyways. Just enjoy the ride. What a wild and strange trip it is. Some good news today came through the field of the fires in Australia with all the rains. The deluge of rains over the past week resulted in Sydney's dams reaching their highest total since April 2018, and the Rural Fire Service announced that the remaining blazes had officially been contained. Not all the fires are totally out, but most of them are out, and they're all in containment, so they're not spreading. And the Warragamba Dam was at 73.9% its capacity on Thursday evening. So there's the 73 energy, the heaven on earth energy. Also, it's been reported, I'll speak a little bit about this later, that the temples in Bosnia, the Bosnian pyramids, are being activated with rainbow plasma in the center of each pyramid. There's 5 pyramids: the sun, the moon, love, the earth, and the dragon. I'll speak more in depth tomorrow when I hopefully have more time about these activations and what we can do to assist this. There's a massive Stargate, a portal over Bosnia that's connected to these pyramids, the 5 pyramids, the sacred temples in this sacred grid. The Stargates are being activated. We will get started today. The first transmission from the Arcturians through Suzanne Lee, the Awakened Ones. When the Arcturians, who had become lost in form, began to remember their roots, they wanted to rejoin with their Arcturian family. Unfortunately, this rejoining would not be as simple as they desired. Much had occurred in their consciousness since they had forgotten who they were. For hundreds of thousands of turns of their planet, they believed they were separate. Within that belief in separation, grievous actions were committed, and the Awakening Ones had also created injury to the others and to the planet. To fully awaken, the Awakening Ones would have to heal the injury they had caused. Perhaps then they could reunite with their family who had remained in a formless state. First, the Awakening Ones would have to forgive themselves for doing harm to others. Then they would have to forgive themselves for falling into such a low state of consciousness that they believed they were separate from their Arcturian family. Believing that they were separate from their family had caused a deep loneliness, which had festered into fear. This fear gave them permission to do harm to others. Only the healing force of love could heal the scars that their fear had created. But where would they begin? What and who were they supposed to love? They were stumped by this question for a long time before they realized that any permanent solution must begin at the source of the problem. However, what was the source? Oh yes, judgment is where it all began. Since judgment had begun this cycle of fear, hurt, more fear, only the opposite of judgment could complete this cycle. But what was the opposite of judgment? They pondered this question for more cycles of the illusion of time. Finally, after many attempts to find the opposite of judgment, they found the answer. Forgiveness would heal judgment. In fact, to truly clear all judgment, forgiveness must be unconditional. They also remembered that the ones they had to forgive were not just the ones they had judged, but also themselves, the ones who had made the judgments. However, they did not know how to forgive themselves. They believed that first they would need to be forgiven by a being higher and grander than them. Since they held that belief, they made this true. They believed this higher being was the collective of the formless Arcturians. The important part of this belief was that it encouraged them to communicate with their formless Arcturian family. But how would they communicate with a being that they could not perceive? Perhaps they could open a kind of portal through which they could transmit their need for assistance. They were surprised by the word portal, as it seemed to arise from a deep inner memory. But fortunately, they also remembered that a portal is a multidimensional tunnel through which they could connect with increasingly higher octaves of their reality. The merging of the portal openers. The awakened ones were persistent and very determined. Hence they became the portal openers, and portals into the higher dimensions began to open. When the portal openers sent their consciousness through the higher dimensional portals, they became aware of their own multidimensional nature. In this manner, the awakened ones commenced their journey back to their multidimensional self. As the portal openers connected with higher and higher frequencies of their expression of self, they developed a deeper and deeper connection with their formless family of light. They eventually came to understand that their formless family was indeed their self at a higher frequency of reality. With this new awareness about the nature of their true self, they could more readily accept unconditional love, which had always been flowing from the formless ones. Since unconditional love carries the gift of personal and planetary transmutation, the formless ones became known as the transmuters. The first and most obvious advantage of the acceptance of unconditional love was that it allowed the portal openers to love all of life, free of any judgment. Another important consequence of accepting the unconditional love was that it transmuted the portal openers' judgment into forgiveness. Because the portal openers accepted this unconditional love and allowed it to transmute their judgment into forgiveness, their myriad fears were transmuted into love. The return of the feel of love urged the portal openers to deeply believe in their self. Hence the portal openers found the courage to open more and more portals into the unknown. As they opened these portals, they increasingly cleared fear from themselves and from their planet. Thus, as they healed themselves, they healed their Arcturian family, who was holding the form of the planet. As fear was cleared from their consciousness, they no longer reacted to the fear of others or the judgment that arose from that fear. Also, as the fear was cleared from their awakened Arcturians, they could begin to heal the many wounds that had been created by the fearful Arcturians. Knowing that the creators of fear were driven by fear, allowing the portal openers to unconditionally love those who were still lost in their judgment of others. Within the release of all judgment for the lost ones, the portal openers began to unite with each other in a very intimate manner. In fact, the portal openers were moving into a state of unity consciousness with each other, which felt vaguely familiar. Gradually they began to remember that once they were all one. This memory planted the first seed of unity consciousness with the planet itself. The expansion of unity consciousness. Unity consciousness with the planet included unity with the Arcturians who were holding the form of the planet. Unity with the planet had to occur because the Arcturians were the planet, just as some Arcturians, actually pre-Arcturians, had chosen to be humanoids. Others had chosen to be the planet. In fact, these Arcturians who had chosen to be the planet had taken on a denser matter than they had ever known. Thus they were too lost in form. If the portal openers were to have unity consciousness with their planet, they would have to be in the unity consciousness with all humanoids. In other words, they would need to include the lost ones in their unity consciousness. In this manner, the portal openers would know that they had totally released their judgment. Meanwhile, there were still many humanoids lost in their own judgment. Therefore, they lived in the fear and separation that judgment created. However, they did not want to change. They had experienced power over the others and enjoyed that sensation. It had been so long since they had experienced unity that they believed only in separation. Hence, they continued to create separation by desiring the sensation of power over others that they judged as inferior to them. On the other hand, the portal openers were finding many portals into the planet, but they did not know how to open them. They imagined they would be opened in the same manner as the higher dimensional portals were opened. However, they did not really understand how they had opened the higher dimensional portals. They suspected that it had something to do with accepting the unconditional love sent to them by the formless ones, now known as the transmuters. Since the portal openers had established a line of communication with the transmuters, they asked them how the higher dimensional portals had been so easily opened. The transmuters replied, "Our dear portal openers, the higher dimensional portals opened so easily because we are one being. We are you in the form of a humanoid, and you are us in a formless state of multidimensional light and unconditional love." This answer was all they could receive. Some of the portal openers were so confused by this answer that they did not give it any thought. However, other portal openers allowed this answer to live in their heart, where they did not need to think about it, but they could always feel it. The Arcturians, who were the holders of the form of the planet, had largely lost all unity consciousness with their Arcturian family, who lived in a formless state in the higher frequencies around the planet. Fortunately, some formless ones had taken residence in the deepest core of the planet. These formless ones could feel the portal openers' desire to open the planetary portals, but living in the planetary core had made them forget how to send unconditional love. Perhaps they too could accept the unconditional love from the transmuters. When they accepted that unconditional love, they found they could open the planetary portals from the core. Then these formless ones returned to unity consciousness with the transmuters as well as the portal openers. Problem with the lost ones? At the same time, the lost ones who had not become portal openers still believed in separation and judgment. Fortunately, the flow of unconditional love that the portal openers had accepted was so strong that the lost ones could vaguely feel it, but wondered if they were good enough to receive it. This judgment of themselves and of unconditional love created fear. Then their fear created even more judgment, which created more separation. In response to their growing fear, the lost ones who believed in separation created a separate God. They could not believe in unconditional love, so they believed in a God who sent love to only the chosen ones. Hence, the lost ones developed rituals and tests to make them good enough to receive love from the separate God high above them in a separate world. The lost ones had no idea that their God was their own self in its original, formless state of multidimensional light and unconditional love. The formless Arcturians realized that they had to assist the lost ones before they created even more judgment, fear, and separation. Thus, the formless Arcturians realized that they had to transmute every molecule of matter back into light. For this reason, they created the Arcturian corridor. This is from Suzanne Lee, from SuzanneLeePhD.blogspot.com. And today from Shrienkara, the moment at hand is calling every being to discover the gift of awakened presence and the radiance of their divine nature, a moment that is unlike any other and one that ignites the energy of true beauty. Ignite your soul's true beauty into passionate action as you claim the up-level energy abundantly available. Yes, you are in the middle of yet another jet-propelled expansion, and the profound shift energy of February, in combination with the choice energy it carries, will begin to clearly reveal even more this coming week. The week ahead invites us all to the journey of the first Mercury retrograde in the 2-year expansion and up-level experience. This Tuesday, as beloved Mercury stations in its retrograde position, the mastery moment will get even more stronger. Fear not. For the next 2 years, these are the moments of up-level that are inviting you to pay attention and reclaim all that you are. From Shrienkara.com. And from the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. Gene Key 30, February 14 through February 18, 2020. Desire, lightness, and rapture. Rapture from Bhakti to Shakti, lightness. The final desire, nature's greatest con. And the energy of Gene Key 30 is celestial fire. Look at your life and realize that everyone around you is God in a disguise. They're here to teach you, remind you that beneath our veneer we are one rippling field of love, of divine rapture. To let that in is our highest purpose. We need a new wave of ecstatics in the modern world. The materialists need to be challenged. They need to be taken on. I don't wish them ill. I wish them to awaken so that we can embrace each other, so that we can repair the world, so that we can all be unified in the rapture. Excerpt from the 64 Ways, the magical hologenetic gene keys geometry, the seedy rise into rapture, the gift lighten up and shine bright, the shadow fire clings to what we feed it. This week no gene keys are interwoven. The Gene Key 30 of celestial fire, rapture, lightness, desire. When you surrender to the helplessness of being a new, normal human being, then something remarkable occurs. You experience a shift in frequency of your whole being. You begin to lighten up. The 30th gift is a new operating wavelength for humanity, and it really involves an inner surrender that cannot be forced or faked. And from the Yi Ching 30, the clinging, ignite the rising fire of longing, reaching to the beloved, purifying our base desire into the divine fire. Rise into rapture, lighten up and shine bright. Fire clings to what we feed it. Rapturous passion. The great man, in accordance with this, cultivates more and more his brilliant virtue and diffuses its brightness over the four quarters of the land. The Passion of the Rapture. By Richard Rudd. Gene Keys, Unlocking the Higher Purpose Hidden in Your DNA, from genekeys-society.com. And today from the Tzolk'in Times, Kin 218, White Planetary Mirror. Planetary is the name for the number 10, and its keywords are perfect, manifest, and produce. Today is a portal day, the 10th day of the red moon wave spell. Things happen on planetary days, so they seem just to manifest out of thin air. Focus on what you need to materialize in your life and see if you can tune into today's perfect energy. Today is White Mirror, which represents reflect, order, and endlessness. At the last Crystal Court, we discussed shape-shifting and how living within the Tzolk'in has much in common with this practice. When we pay attention to what day it is and tune into its energy, we ourselves embody that characteristic regardless of our own kin. I am reflecting this truth to you today as I am a mirror, but you too can share the truth today with anyone who needs to see it. As it is a planetary day, it's a perfect day for reflecting truth. The guide today is the White World Bridger, which represents opportunities to cross bridges, and it also represents death. If you want to cross a bridge to your new life, you must leave the old one behind. Are you prepared to allow something in your life to die? As it is a day of truth, the truth will lead you to the bridge. It's up to you to cross it. 710 coming through, the 17, the 71, and the 10. 1010, Galactic Activation Portal. And from Christina Papagiorgio, White Planetary Mirror, Kin 218, 15 February 2020. 15-2-2020 equals 6, 2, 4, equal 12, equal 3. Also with the 12-12 energy coming through, today the Schumann, the overtone was at 12 hertz, forgot to mention earlier, and a calm before the storm is manifesting through the Schumann energies. 15, charisma, magnetism, alchemy. 6, heaven, Christ, harmony, family. 3, Holy Trinity, joy, creativity, union. Kin 218 equal 11. 11 also represents the mirror, portal, gateway. 11 equal 2, partnership, cooperation, polarity. A powerful, magnifying mirror manifestation code on a planetary level. It is also a gap day, galactic activation portal, so we have added rocket fuel to propel our manifestations into hyperdrive. Beautiful codes offering much hope, optimism, and wondrous opportunities. Planetary manifestation. Today is a brilliant day to energize the dream of collective abundance for all planetary kin. Day 10 in the red moon wave spell of the goddess, who is enhancing our intuition and sensitivity as we purify our vessels in order to find our flow. Today we manifest through the art of surrendering all attachment to the physical plane, becoming wholly present and receptive to the fantastic opportunities flowing our way as we perfect the art of manifestation. Powerful manifestation potentials arise today. Tone of creation, planetary tone 10 in the physical realm. Action produces, power perfects, essence manifestation. The 10th stage of a wave spell is the perfection of all we imagined as possible and more. It is the harvest stage where we happily reap our manifest splendor. The forms we have been imagining begin to manifest into our reality, and our lives begin to reflect the deep soul longings that we desire. Planetary energies enable us to build and manifest strong connections with our divine creator today. We have the power to manifest and produce incredible prosperity, happiness, and joy, both in our hearts and the planetary heart of Nova Gaia. A powerful day to get physical, using divine alchemy to manifest from the ethers into matter. It is time to perfect the art of receiving all of our pure heart's desires. So, beloveds, another very divine and precious day gifted to humanity. Let go and let God. Allow the divine abundance to effortlessly flow into your lives. Today's question is, how can I totally surrender and let go of the old illusions, aligning with my highest truth in order for my life to reflect more abundance, beauty, and flow? Divine blessings for perfecting abundant manifestations today. Ready, set, go, go, go. In Lakek Alakin, Christina White Magnetic World Bridger, Ken 66. So we'll take a moment here. Christina posted about the Bosnian pyramids, which I'm going to do a transmission tomorrow on Sunday, the day of the sun, the sol, solar. That this morning was posted that she was guided to post confirming the power of the Bosnian pyramids and manifesting. They are fully switched on and are ready to activate your desires with focused intent, with harm to none according to the divine plan. The assignments: there are temples in Bosnia that are hidden in plain sight. Each one activates extra senses for our original 5 senses. This can create miracles upon earth in abundance and access it if we correctly do this. We can activate the 5 Bosnian pyramids by using rainbow plasma in the center of each pyramid. The interesting thing about this assignment is that it's almost like a voting booth that lets Gaia know how many of us are actively choosing to move into the next frontier of human evolution. Tomorrow, I will post more on this, because it is a longer transmission that I do not have time today. So you can check out archangelicalendar.wordpress.com for more on these Bosnian pyramid energies. So look for the video tomorrow, or the transmission, on more on these Bosnian temples. And today from the Dream Spell Journey by Volum Votan and Bolonik, Kin 218, the Planetary Chamber of Endlessness. 95 Zolkin since the discovery of Pakal's tomb. Today's Kin 218, Planetary Mirror, 10 Mirror, is the prophetic kin of the discovery of the tomb of Pakal the Great, the legendary king of Lakama, Palenque. His tomb was discovered on 15 June 1952, Kin 218 and 13 Kib, when it was possible to pierce the door of his funerary chamber located at the base of his pyramid Temple of the 9 Sharpened Spears, formerly known as the Temple of Inscriptions. Therefore, today marks 95 galactic spins, 95 Zolkin since the finding. According to the galactic Mayan cosmology of Volum Votan and Bolonik, This Maya king represents the archetype of Pakal Votan within the Telektanon prophecy. The same authors also established that the discovery of his tomb opened the revelation of the new time. Time is the fourth dimension. As mentioned yesterday, kin 218 is the second kin under the harmonic 55 of the crystal matrix, which codes the shift from the fourth dimension of time toward the fifth dimension of prophecy. Along with the first kin 217, both represent the primordial twin archetypes of the Telektanon prophecy, Pakal Votan, kin 218, and Balon Icke, kin 217, in the dream spell. The unified time for today is equally relevant. Dream time, 10 mirror, kin 218, real time, 3 ebb, kin 172, equal 218 plus 172 equal 390 minus 260 equal 130, kin 130, 13 oak, and 13 dog. Precisely, kin 130 is the center of the Zolkin and the harmonic 33. Kin 130 is the unified time of the ascension of Volom Votan. Kin 89 plus kin 41, 2 emiss, equal kin 130. Kin 130 transcends the wave spell of the mirror, coded by kin 118, which is Pakal's ascension code. Birth 8, ajaw, or kin 60, equal death 6. Etznab, or kin 58, equal kin 118, magnetic mirror. Therefore, today we complete 95 Zolkin since the kin 218 of the discovery of Pakal's tomb, synchronizing with the power of 33, 11 plus 22, which is manifested through the unified time of kin 130, Zolkin center, equal harmonic 33. Let us also remember that the power of 33 plus 22 equal 55. Exactly the number 55, 33 plus 22 codes the fifth dimension of prophecy, which is inscribed on the dream spell Zolkin through the harmonic 55 that we are traversing right now. Aho! 15 February 2020, NS 1.32.8.9, kin 218, white planetary mirror, galactic activation portal. The mantra, the code for today is, I perfect in order to reflect. Producing order, I seal the matrix of endlessness. With the planetary tone of manifestation, I am guided by the power of death. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. There we have it, beloved beings of light. Thank you for joining me today. And when we say guided by the power of death, it brings up a memory in the halls of mirrors about the shaman teaching the apprentice, the sorcerer's apprentice, under the tutelage of the shaman, that we can use as warriors of light death as an advisor, meaning we could let the symbolism of death, because death is part of the illusion, the end of the illusion, the end of the separation programming. When people think of death, they think the end of something. But the end of all things brings something new, the beginning of something else. So when we say the death of the false into the birth of that which is true, into the truth, we realize that this is a great transition, transmutation, transformation. And we're all going through this now on this great journey of souls. So beloved soul of light, of the solar kingdom, connecting with the Great Spirit and feeling into your heart center, let us know in the comments below, in this now, what you are feeling, what you are experiencing, what you are transmuting, your visions, what's coming through the veil for each and every one of you, and share your visions for the new earth, for these new times of galactic activation, galactic awareness, of cosmic consciousness. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Click the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe to get notifications on future updates. And please give us a thumbs up, share this video with your networks, and leave a comment. All these things help get our message out to more of the collective. And I appreciate each and every one of you for your support, your love, your kindness, and your connections. Have an amazing, beautiful, blessed day in eternity. And we end this transmission at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 73 into the 37, symbolizing the merging of heaven and earth. So keep manifesting your true heart's delight, your true heart's desire, through the pure awareness of our infinite light and infinite life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namaste. I love you all.